days, November 73. The nation story came of age, of vision grew, now we see. Oh, what a story, the nation story.
I would say that my association with the nation arose by chance, or some might say by providence. My pre-publication association began one day when I was returning to my office in Lucas Street from lunch. At the same time, my friend Mr. Christopher Blackman, as he then was also returning to his office in the building adjacent at Carrington and Seeley. He said, "Grenville, you have any change that you could make an investment with some of the boys?" I said, "Who are the boys?" He says, "Fred and Harold." I said, "I know Fred and Harold." I says, what are they doing?" He says, "They're trying to start a newspaper." I said, "What? A newspaper?" You see, at that time, I was just about performing the last rites on the Daily News as liquidator. I said, "I will think about it." I did think about it and decided I will make a small investment, mainly out of friendship rather than an investment, because I was doubtful about the project. But because of friendship, I decided I would lend my support. You see, Harold, Fred, and I were contemporaries in age. There was only 1 year that separated each of us, I being the senior of them, and unfortunately, only the one remaining. Issue of shares to employees were being discussed. It was something fully supported by Fred, Harold, and myself. But beyond employees, we also thought that one day the public of Barbados should be afforded the opportunity of having a stake in the nation. There were, however, certain challenges to overcome. First of all, in respect of employees, at that time, the nation was a private company, and the number of shareholders by law was limited to 50. So we had to find a mechanism. How do you accommodate more than 50? So Fred turned to me and says, "Grenville, find the formula," as he often did. We were able to do that by incorporating a separate company into which those who were not already shareholders in the nation could become shareholders in that private company. Its only investment would be shares in the nation. By so doing, we were able to accommodate up to a maximum of 100 people instead of 50. And on the merger with OCM, those persons who were shareholders in that company were treated equally in respect of their shares to the ones who were also at that time shareholders in the Nation Publishing Company itself. I was also intimately involved in the merger between CCN, which is the Express in Trinidad, and the Nation Group in Barbados. Indeed, when that was being discussed and the various methodologies of achieving it were being explored, so Fred again said to me, Grenville, find a formula to achieve what we really want to do, which is a merger, not a takeover bid or a sellout. Much to the annoyance of the then CEO of CCN, I took the lead in crafting the merger document. And in that merger document, 3 fundamental provisions were made. 1, after the merger, there must be a public offering of OCM shares, with preferential allotment being given to employees of the nation and Barbadians. 2, on the merger, the number of directors of OCM would be 9, 5 of whom were nominated by Legacy Express CCN shareholders and 4 by the Nation Group shareholders. That was intended for a period of 5 years. It has voluntarily continued to this day, 18 years after the merger. And very fundamental provision was the independence of editorial policy. OCM cannot dictate or interfere into the editorial policy of the nation. Neither can the nation influence the editorial policy of the Express. Within the merger agreement, the independence of the editorial policy of the nation is guaranteed, subject only to one condition: that the guardians of that editorial policy do not trample the fundamental provisions on which that policy is based. And those fundamental provisions are objectivity, balance, fairness, and probity. Once the editors abide by that fundamental foundation, there can be no interference in the editorial policy of the nation.